All right. Welcome in, folks. This is JE Live, and we are back. We're back in the win column here. Feels nice. It was a good day for the channel because both teams I cover both won. Can't believe the Jets are 4-2, the Rams are 3-3, but both got wins today. Huge game for the Rams. They needed to go into the bye winning this game. 3-3, you get some help obviously with the way everything went. You do end up getting some help from the Niners. So it was a big day. Big day for the Rams. The Bucks lost, the Packers lost, and the Niners lost. Now, could this have been way better? Yes. Am I satisfied by this? To be honest with you, no. I felt like this could have been a lot better. I felt like they left a lot of points off the board. And I was not overly impressed with how Sean McVay utilized the run game. Henderson, big. That drive where they had the touchdown, huge run on 3rd and long to get the first down. I thought Henderson ran hard. Obviously, the stats don't indicate him playing all that well, but I would argue that, looking at the box score, I don't think he had a bad game. I think, there were times where they ran the ball that they shouldn't have run it. There were times where they threw it when they should have run it. Look, at the end of the day, Sean McVay ran 29 times. So I'm not saying Sean McVay didn't run it enough, but Sean McVay ran it 29 times, threw it 33, relatively balanced. But Henderson got 12 carries, and they were all sporadic. So pretty much my concerns about how they used Darrell Henderson are still there because it's exactly what we've been talking about. It's hard for any running back to get into a rhythm when you're not consistently using them. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I don't personally. I like Malcolm Brown. I like that he's back. I don't want to see Malcolm Brown getting 7 carries for 15 yards. I don't think that helps anybody. I don't want to see it. I mean, this is not a good offensive line right now, okay? They're banged up to all hell, and they need to run the ball. They need to still try to run the ball and establish the run. And the best way to do that is have the best running back possible behind that offensive line. Darrell Henderson ran 3.6 yards per carry. But Darrell Henderson did his best against really, there were guys all over him in the backfield. He had a solid game in that route. They only used him twice in the passing game for 9 yards. Ronnie Rivers wearing Todd Gurley's number 30 to answer one of your guys' questions. William, I see you. He had a nice catch for 14, showed some good elusiveness. Very shifty guy. Really liked him out of Fresno State. So hopefully we see more of him mixed in. But it really comes back to the whole idea with Sean McVay, where this game ends up being 24-10, but I really feel like they should have won by a lot more. And I do blame McVay to an extent because I feel like the offense is just, there's something off. They got things going. 7 catches for 80 yards, Cooper Kupp. 5 catches for 63, Allen Robinson, and a touchdown. 5 for 40 with Skoranek. He also added a carry for 17 and a touchdown. So, they got guys going in the receiving game. Brown had 13. Henderson had 2 catches. Higbee was pretty quiet. I do think that speaks volumes because it does show you a guy that only had 2 targets in this game, who was second in targets on the team. That injury could be significant. Okay, that could be something that they're trying to work through. He's a little banged up, and he was on the injury report, and so they had him active, but they didn't want to use him too much. Just looking at this game, though, I like the way they use Powell. I like the creativity. I just think they got to stick with one running back, and not just one running back, but make him your guy. So I will say, Darrell Henderson ran hard. He ran pretty well, all things considered. He had some huge runs that extended drives. But I got to tell you, 12 carries is not enough for a guy like that to get going. And I want to see more usage. He only had 14 touches in this game against the Panthers. Panthers are the worst team in the league when running right and left end runs, so outside runs, and they didn't do one pitch. They actually faked it multiple times. So I don't know. I'm one of those guys that I want it to be. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm definitely glad they won. And 24-10 could be considered a blowout, but I think it should have been better. I'm glad they won. Don't get me wrong. And they had a good day because of the surroundings. You talk about the 49ers getting, in my opinion, creamed by the Falcons. Falcons dominated that game. That game should not have been close. So the Falcons dominated. The Jets dominated the Packers. They won 27-10. And, the Steelers played, they outplayed Tampa from beginning to end. And they concussed their quarterback. So they won with Trubisky. So, I mean, that's what you want to see as a Rams fan today. You don't really care what goes on with Seattle and Arizona because that's what you can control. Right now, you control your destiny because if you beat the Niners and say you win out, you win the division. So you have a lot in front of you, things that you can do. Now, let's discuss things in general. Okay, let's first off, let's isolate Matthew Stafford. 26 of 33, 253 yards, a touchdown, interception. Only sacked once today. 96.1 passer rating. So I actually really do think Matthew Stafford played well. But that interception can't happen. So the defense gave up 3 points. They gave up 16 last week, 17 the week before, and 12 the week before. This team should be 5-1. The defense is balling out. They have those moments where they give up a big play, explosive play, all of that. But, Stafford doesn't throw that pick six, and this game is a trouncing. It's probably 30-3 or 33-3 or whatever. That kind of kept the Panthers in it. I mean, the Panthers had no business at any point being in this game. They're not a good football team. It was honestly, I'm not even going to hold back here, it was pathetic. It was really pathetic. Jacob Eason almost tied P.J. Walker on the final drive in yards. Walker went 10 of 16 for 60 yards and left the game in the fourth quarter. The Rams defense held the Panthers to 110 passing yards. They held the Cowboys to 100 passing yards last week. I mean, 2 sacks on P.J. Walker, defense putting pressure. You love to see it. McCaffrey ran well, but aside from that, you'll take 21 of 93, 4.4 yards per carry. That doesn't kill you, and they did a nice job. That one run that McCaffrey had, one receiving play, the huge one, the 49-yard one, doesn't even come back to bite them. They gave up 3 points. That's still not acceptable, but they gave up 3 points. I don't know. I came away thinking the defense was great. They got off to a rough start. And I came away thinking that I was really, really, really impressed, by the way the defense played and really disappointed that they didn't win by more. So it's one of those weird wins, right? Because you look at it and you're like, well, the Rams won. Winning is not a guarantee this year with the Rams. We know that. But at the same time, this could have been a much more decisive victory. And it was costly because, per Sean McVay, Joe Noteboom might have an Achilles injury. And that's not good. That's not good at all. You spend all that money on him. You spend all that money on Allen. You spend all that money on Coleman Shelton. All 3 guys they signed, all 4 guys they acquired for this season. So they acquired those 3 in free agency because they all became free agents. And then they draft Logan Bruss. All 4 of them have injuries. Potentially 2 of them are out for the year. We'll see what happens with Noteboom. But, I mean, they're going to have to navigate this. It's going to be, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough to navigate all this. It's not going to be an easy feat. So they're going to have to find what works and be able to do it because it's not going to get any easier. It's not. And, that's something to keep in mind. But I don't know, man. Pretty gnarly stuff what they were able to do, the offensive line anyway. Because this defense, in case you don't know, this defense gets a lot of pressure. The Panthers have pressured the quarterback 88 times, and they have 9 sacks this season. Okay, so I mean, I'll take it. I'll definitely take the win. There are some things I like. There's some things I didn't like. I like seeing Powell I get involved. But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, a win's a win. This is a win that you could build off of. It kills to lose Noteboom. You want to see, at least in my mind, you want to see Stafford not be throwing interceptions, right? You want to see consistent usage of the run game. I mean, I really don't get why Henderson wasn't featured. He had 5 more carries than Malcolm Brown. I don't know. Ronnie Rivers had 1 carry. There was a moment, 2nd and 1, and then 3rd and 1, and Henderson isn't on either of those, and they ran the ball twice. That has to be cleaned up. I'm hoping at the bye we get that resolved. But I think this offense looks better without Cam Akers. And I believe that. There's no forcing it to him. Not to say he wouldn't have done okay today, but I think the Ronnie Rivers reception was a sight to see because you can definitely see this guy has talent. Malcolm Brown just isn't Malcolm Brown from 2020, but he wasn't awful on a couple of those runs. But I just feel like really they're trying to make this a running back by committee, and it should just be a Darrell Henderson show. Like, give him 20 touches, right? But, you know, I don't know. I think they went 24-10 over the Panthers. Defense is playing very well. The offense has to come out of the bye, and they have to do more. Now, let's talk a little bit, okay? It is weird. The Rams are, like, really scared to give Henderson carries. It seems that way. So let's talk about the offense. Allen Robinson. Finally using him like I wanted them to. I was so excited that I literally changed the picture for this thumbnail to Allen Robinson catching that touchdown in the end zone because, my God, that's all I want them to use him for. Just use him in that way. Just throw the jump ball. I mean, just get it to him. Let him play above the rim. This is what I was talking about. And they finally did. And it worked 2 out of 2 times. And, I mean, really with the way people talk about Allen Robinson, I don't think they get the caliber of player this guy is. He's in a bad, it's a bad situation right now. That got a little bit better today that I think will be better out of the bye. Right now, he's in the Robert Woods role. Okay, we need to see Van Jefferson the Robert Woods role. When Allen Robinson is able to start stretching that field, same with Van. I mean, really, they can do both kind of similar, but it's Robinson's big-bodied, overall frame that allows him to do that. His ability to go up and high point the football allows him to be a deep threat. He's not, really fast, but he can be the equalizer there. With Van Jefferson, he's 6'1", that's a good size, 6'2", whatever. He doesn't have that, right? So he's not the big-bodied, he's not built like that. He's built more like a Robert Woods, more like a Cooper Kupp, not like big-bodied guy that's going to box out a defender. No. But his speed over the top is going to do that. So I'm excited for the future there. We will see about OBJ, but I will say this, as much as I absolutely love OBJ, I don't think that the Rams entirely need him. I want him back because selfishly he's one of my favorite players ever. But I will say the way Ben Skoranek is developing And Allen Robinson, the way he looked in this game, you get Van Jefferson back. You have Cooper Kupp. You have the receiving threats out of the run game, with like Darrell Henderson, with Ronnie Rivers. Even Malcolm Brown had a nice reception. And then you have the tight ends. You have Blanton, you have Higbee, and you have Bryson Hopkins. Maybe even Jacob Harris you throw in there. It does show you that this team has plenty of weapons. And when they figure things out, okay, when they get healthier, I'm serious when I say this, they are going to be very good. And today was just per usual. It's what we've gotten used to now with Ben Skoranek. I mean, it's week in and week out now with this guy, okay? Week in and week out. 5 catches for 40 today. He ran for a touchdown, okay? So he runs for his first career touchdown, a carry for 17 yards. 6 catches for 41 against Dallas, 2 for 33, 4 for 66. He had the Atlanta game where it was really all about him being a blocker, but he did manage to have 2 for 16 and 4 for 25. Skoranek is 18 out of 24 targets this year for 181 yards, and he has a touchdown total. So Skoranek is starting to really come alive, and you're starting to see him develop before your eyes. He was third coming in this game in average yards of separation. They called him a mini Kupp at one point last year, early on in the year. They liked him a lot. You can see why they like him. Allen Robinson was very much utilized in this game. 5 of 6 targets. Skoranek, 5 of 5 targets. Cooper Kupp, 7 of 8. Powell, 4 of 5. There weren't many incompletions in this game. Henderson, 2 of 3. Higbee, 1 of 2. 1 of 1, Malcolm Brown. 1 of 1, Ronnie Rivers. Like, there weren't many incompletions to targets. So, I was very, very impressed with Skoranek. I was impressed with Allen Robinson. I was impressed with the way they were using Brandon Powell. So while I can sit here and be critical of McVay in certain instances where I'm like, you know what? Use Darrell Henderson as your guy. Stop trying to make this a running back by committee because it doesn't have to be. Now that Akers is out of the picture, there's no need for it to be a running back by committee. But at the same time, while I am critical of that, I'm also going to give him credit because I like the way he's using Powell. I like the way he's using Skoranek. I like the way he's using Allen Robinson. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's important to me. I like the creativity. Oh, and by the way, guys, remember we were talking about this, or you guys brought it up multiple times. I was talking about this. I mean, we're probably all talking about this, right? You're using jet motion, but you're not running the ball. Well, what did they do in this game, Sean McVay? Well, you ran it with Skoranek once. You ran it with Kupp twice. You ran it with Powell 3 times. Atwell once. You love to see it. Keep it up, please. Because the Panthers had no answer. They had no answer. I'm reading what you're saying there. Yeah, I'm with you there. I can't believe on 2nd and 1, Ronnie Rivers is getting that ball. I can't believe on 3rd and 1, Malcolm Brown's getting the ball. That was confusing and a little annoying for me. But I guess that's that. Harrison Bader just hit a 3-run shot. Wow. Okay. There we go. Oh, man. Jalen Ramsey was flying today. You're absolutely right. Jalen Ramsey looked great. I think the defense is really starting to just take over now. They really are starting to get good. And that's another thing that I'll say, and it's been a fun thing to watch. Have you noticed something? The defense is ahead of where they've been. Like, they look in mid-season to late-season form, and it's only week 6. So that's something there. And I see the comment, Jake, you kidding me? Number 18 over OBJ. No, that I'm not saying. Keep this in mind. I'm not saying Ben Skoranek is better than OBJ. But I'm saying that OBJ isn't as big of a need as I initially thought. I still want him. Doesn't change my mind. But he's not as big of a need as I initially felt like there's no way in hell this team can win without OBJ. That's not the case. It's not. It's not the case as I get something in my eye. It's just not the case. I really believe that they have the right pieces. I just hope they bring back OBJ because I love OBJ. And I understand there's a lot of people out there that are like, man, I saw CMC running today. He had over 150 yards total offense. Got to bring him in. He's got to be the guy, But I'll be honest. When everything that I've seen so far for this offense, I'm kind of going off here a little bit on a tangent, but I keep in mind this is all like raw thoughts at the end of the game. Yeah, right. Don't cry. Yeah, I'm trying not to. My thoughts are that you can look at this team however you want to. They're 3-3. I've been a little pessimistic on this live stream today, I will admit. But I'll hit you with this. Packers, Buccaneers, 49ers. They're all 3-3. Do you know who else is 3-3? So are the Los Angeles Rams. By the way, the new standings, the way they are right now, if you look in the AFC, the Rams would be in the playoffs. If the season ended today, the Rams would be in the playoffs. The Eagles are 5-0. They play tonight against Dallas. Minnesota's 5-1. Told you Minnesota was legit. Tampa is the 3rd seed at 3-3. The Niners are the 4th seed at 3-3. The Giants are 5-1 in the 5th seed. The Cowboys are 4-1 in the 6th seed. They played the Philly today. Okay. The Rams are 3-3, 7th seed. Packers 3-3, 8th seed. Falcons 3-3, 9th seed. Seattle 3-3, 10th seed. Then you look, the Saints are 2-4, 11th. Washington Commanders 2-4, 12th. Arizona Cardinals 2-4, 13th. Chicago Bears 2-4, 14th. Detroit Lions 1-4, 15th. Had a bye this week, and Carolina Panthers are 16th, and they have 1 win. So I'm just saying, man. Like, everyone's like, there were, people were acting like the sky was falling last week. And it just shows you, right? Like, the way the NFL is right now, it's anybody's game. Do you honestly think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be undefeated the whole year? I think they're a really good football team, but there's no way they're going undefeated the whole year. They're not going 17-0. There's not even a guarantee they don't lose 4 games. Okay, there's not a guarantee they even make the playoffs. There's no guarantee. We've seen it before. We've seen teams go 5-0. Remember the Bills back in the day? They went 5-0. Everyone lost their minds. Stevie Johnson, all those guys. And then they didn't even make the playoffs. So it's early, but I think the Rams have positioned themselves well enough, despite the fact their offense really has not been impressive. The Rams have positioned themselves with an elite defense. I'm going to say elite because they have been elite. With an elite defense to be 3-3 and have a clean slate start to the second half of the year coming off the bye. They needed this bye. Hopefully they get some health under their belt. They get these guys back. They're not going to get everybody back. But I do think, everyone's talking, whoa, the Niners, bad. Oh, my God, like we're going to lose to the Niners. Guess who the Niners play next week? They play the Kansas City Chiefs, who just lost to the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to take the Chiefs to lose back-to-back games, especially after the team I just saw with the Niners. The Niners were not impressive today against Atlanta. They were not. Was not impressed with the Niners in the slightest. The Niners will play the Chiefs, and it is in San Francisco. But I don't see it. I think the Niners lose that game, and I think the Rams will beat them at SoFi coming off the bye. I believe that. They're more banged up. You're absolutely right. A-Dog, thank you so much for donating. Jake, we will be better off just waiting for free agent class for running backs after the season. I would like Tony Pollard on the Rams. I love Tony Pollard. I definitely wouldn't be against that if you could make it work and it actually, made sense. The money made sense, all of that. But yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see Christian McCaffrey being a Ram. I was starting to kind of feel that way, but they want 2 first-rounders. The Rams wouldn't offer enough. I don't see it. Hey, I hear you. I definitely hear you. So, I don't know what Akers' value is because I don't know who's going to want. Like, Akers has to bring something to the table. So, I mean, the only team I can really think of is like Denver. He's gonna want a heavier workload. Like, I don't, you know. The thing that makes him attractive is that he's a former second round pick. I hate sneezing. He's a former second round pick. He's had some moments. He's played in big games. He's won a Super Bowl. And he's on a rookie deal. So when you think about all that, that's a good sign, right? Thank you guys. Is that a good sign? I would say that's a good sign. But I will say this, they're in way better shape to trade him away than they are to trade away Robbie Anderson. Cuz I mean, if I'm Carolina and I'm trying to trade Robbie Anderson, today was not much of a showcase. It really wasn't. I'm sorry. I had another donation and it did not come through. I see A-Dogs here. I'm trying to. Let me see if I can find it. All right, it's not even showing. I'm sorry. It says that I have a $20 donation that I don't see. So whoever donated that, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know, and I will answer your question. I'll also thank you. But YouTube's being weird and not showing me who donated earlier. So kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. Oh, Matthew, thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed your comment. I've never seen this before, but YouTube just didn't show it to me. It just put it it says chat revenue. So I can see that there was a donation, but it doesn't tell me who donated, and it didn't show me anything. So I wasn't ignoring you. It just, for whatever reason, didn't come up. Yeah, he absolutely is. And, there are going to be people that overreact to his yards per carry average, and I get it. I mean, I did that with Akers, but I mean, Henderson's was 3.6 behind a 10th different offensive line. I don't know why the camera does that, but I mean, what you talking about, Jordan? What you talking about? Oh, yeah, respect. Yeah, I'm not looking too much into that. I see what you're doing. I will say, I know he didn't. Okay, so I know Henderson didn't have the statistical output that we all would have wanted. But again, I didn't like the usage, and I gotta tell you, it felt good to watch on that third drive, I think it was. Everything came together. Let's go through that drive real quick. Why not? Let's go through that drive. So we're going to go to the Rams play-by-play on the drive with the Allen Robinson touchdown. And I'll go right through it right now. I'll read it right over. Play-by-play. Okay, so we had the touchdown to A-Rob. So this was a very well-crafted 13-play, 73-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 58 seconds off the clock. They started it off at their own territory, LA 27, pass short middle. Allen Robinson goes for 13. They run it with Henderson. He gets 2. They run with Henderson, no gain, right? Then they have a false start. So now it's 3rd and 13. And then the Rams are going to get a Matthew Stafford pass to Cooper Kupp that gets him 22 yards on a 3rd and 13. And they said Cooper Kupp had a problem with his foot. He sure looked pretty darn good for having a problem with his foot. Then Henderson ran for 3 yards. Then after that, Matthew Stafford passed to Cooper Kupp, got 12. Powell ran for 5. And then Stafford passing complete to Cooper Kupp. There was a penalty on Jackson, which is defensive pass interference. So that helped. But then Ode Ibushi got hit with a hold. So that made it 2nd and 5. Stafford had a pass incomplete. And then he got an intentional grounding penalty, which made it a 3rd and 15, in which Sean McVay basically said, all right, Hendo, you do your thing. He hands it off to Darrell Henderson out of the shotgun, left tackle, goes for 16 and saves the drive. Then they get a 1st and 10. Powell runs for 3. Stafford passing complete, goes for Henderson in tough coverage, broken up. And then 3rd and 7, Henderson catches a pass, gets the 1st down, gets 7. 1st and goal at the 5. Stafford throws to Allen Robinson, who contorts his body and makes that big-time catch for a touchdown. And that right there, the 7-minute drive that went 73 yards on how many plays? 13 plays, was, in my opinion, the drive of the game, because that was everything encapsulated that I could ask for. You saw it all. It was great. I mean, Henderson running with power, running with speed. And then on top of that, you get Allen Robinson going. All fantastic. And, man, that was just what the doctor ordered. Then, of course, you get the pick 6 and all that. But all in all, man, I thought the offense played pretty well, considering at the end of the day, they could have done a lot better. But, you know, well enough to win this game. 24 points isn't bad. Wish they could have grabbed that the last 4 matchups. But, you know, Rich, thank you so much for donating. Explain who's coming back after bye besides Van Jeff, and coupled with a trade, how much more can things improve? Well, okay, Van Jeff will be back. There's probably a good chance Brian Allen will, as well as Jacoby Durant. So those are really the guys that you can expect back right now. We're getting close to the trade deadline. It's the end of October into November. I believe it's November 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken. But yeah, like, we're getting to that level where it's getting closer, and they might want to make a move. And I would not rule out the Rams making a move. Now, apparently, Brian Burns is out of the question because the Panthers aren't willing to trade him. I could see that could change, but who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it, obviously, but yeah, the touchdown was beautiful. It really was, and it just perfectly encapsulated exactly how you use a guy like Allen Robinson. It's really that simple. Was a really big fan of the way they used him in this game, and they just got to keep it up, man. They got to use him that way. They got to utilize Henderson. They got to run with one running back. If you want to get Rivers and Brown involved, great, but this is not a committee backfield. Henderson can take on the workload, because if Henderson's only taking 20 touches and say he gets 15 carries and 5 receptions, I don't know, man. I just I definitely want to see more of that. So all in all in this game, Rams come out on top. They're 3-3 in the division. Tied in the division. Obviously, tiebreaker goes to the Niners. They're also tied with Seattle. I mean, it's not what we would have expected coming into this game, coming into the season, but the Rams, they have 3 wins out of 6, and you know, it's going to get a little tough, but I actually think their schedule's a little overrated, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think the Cardinals are that good. I've told you that. The Saints don't look that good. Tampa doesn't look that good. And to be honest with you, neither do the Niners. We just know the Niners always play the Rams like it's their Super Bowl. I don't know why, but they do. So, yeah, I mean, there's no reason why the Rams can't put together 12, 11. I'd probably say 12, 11 wins. More than 10. There's no reason. But I don't know. You guys have anything for me? Yeah, it sucks about Noteboom. I don't know if he's out for the year, but I know they said he has an Achilles. Or it sounds like he has an Achilles. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, Mike Garafolo reports that the tests are showing he's going in for testing, but the belief is he'll be done for the year, which is awful. It was pretty good. I do think it was a little disappointing, but it was pretty good. Hey, I appreciate you guys, you know? I mean, first off, you guys put up with me and my takes. They're not always perfect, but, you know, I have a platform and I'm able to talk to you guys, even when I'm exhausted or even when I'm depressed or even when I don't want to actually talk. You guys listen. I mean, there's some people out there, but we focus on the good, not the bad, right? Absolutely. You had to win this game. You guys know me. I've been for the most part pretty optimistic about this team. I said they'd win the Super Bowl last year as soon as they got Stafford. I stuck by that even during the no-win November. But if they lost to Carolina, I would have said there's no way they're winning a Super Bowl. They're just not good. But yeah, I could not see them losing. I switched my pick. Originally I was gonna have 24-20, but I decided to switch it to 30-13. As soon as I found out Akers was inactive, I was like, oh, okay. So the offense will look a lot better. So I went 30-13. Facts. Definitely. That's fair. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, they got a second rounder this year. We'll see what ends up happening, but you're absolutely right. The Jets draft picks are really developing. I mean, Sauce Gardner already looks like one of the best corners in football, which is what I expected. But yeah, Alec Jackson is impressive. So that might help. I mean, obviously Noteboom being hurt sucks. I'm a big fan of his. I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl back in 2017 or 2018, whatever. But losing moving Alec Jackson to left tackle, even though it sucks to lose Noteboom, Jackson was really good at left tackle last year in limited spots. So, you know, I got the utmost confidence in him. I'm sure Sean McVay does too. So, unfortunately, with Noteboom gone, you're down to Alec Jackson at left tackle, Bobby Evans at left guard, center Cologne. Maybe Cologne moves to right guard or Bushi stays at right guard. Either way, center will be Brian Allen, I would imagine, against the 49ers. And then right tackle's Havenstein. It's going to get better, but it is going... I don't think Stafford is going to have a good pass protection this year. There's not going to be a good pocket So he's going to have to figure it out because there are times where he is rushing his internal clock a little bit more. He's not playing as loose because he's always worried about the pressure, which makes sense. But, you know, it is something. I love No Boom, but I mean, when they sign No Boom, they sign Allen, they sign, Shelton, those guys all get hurt. So, hey, there's Ziggy with the facts there, or for the facts, but you had the facts, so I'm giving you credit. Yeah, I don't know. Well, now that the Dodgers are out of the playoffs and the Yankees might be out, we'll see how they, respond tonight. They're up 3-0. We'll see how that goes. But now that the Dodgers are out, you need the Rams to come through, and you need somebody to guide you. So don't worry, I'll be here, be putting out all the content and everything. Let's see here. Oh, my co-host for the Believe in Rams podcast coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. We're gonna do a bye week special, which I'm excited to do later on the week. So we're gonna talk about all that, and looking forward to it. I can. The Jets get pressure on the level of not many other defenses, interior wise. It starts with guys like John Franklin Myers. It starts with guys like Quinnen Williams. And then you have the pass rush. You have guys like Carl Lawson. You have Jermaine Johnson. Then you have good linebacker play. You have one of the best corners in football in Sauce Gardner. DJ Reed's a stud. You have a tone setter in Jordan Whitehead at the top. And then the defense, the offense, Zach Wilson's 3-0 since he's come back, and he didn't play well today. But he's 3-0, made the throws he needed to make, and they ran well with Breece Hall, who's killing it. They just got healthy with Dwayne Brown. The offensive line's been smashed, man. Jets have been going through the same thing the Rams have. Not on the same level, but they have lost guys. They just continue to push through. That's why they're 4-2. I mean, I hear you. I'm not against giving Lance McCutcheon opportunities, but he's not like Van Jefferson has like 4.3 speed, and McCutcheon's more like 4.5. So he's not the field stretcher like Van is. So that's the thing there. Oh, I agree. I'm not comparing those two. No. They're different. They have a different style. I'm definitely not comparing those two. Whitworth has more power. Noteboom is more like he's got more athleticism. It could be. He could come out of the bye and look really good. I wouldn't be surprised. He looked better today. I'm not against bubble screens. I'm against using them a ton. And I feel like at some point I understand, okay, you got to use the bubble screens because it kind of neutralizes the pass rush, but at the same time it's like if you do that too much is bad, right? So you become easy to read at that point. Appreciate you, Tony. Unless the trade for CMC is Akers plus 2 fourth-rounders going to Carolina, we should stay away. I agree with you. There's no reason to trade for a running back. I mean, the Rams have a starter in Darrell Henderson. Is he a high-end starter? No. Could he go for 1,000 yards if given enough carries? Absolutely. but they already have a starter. And they're trying to make this a committee backfield with guys that aren't on Henderson's level. And I like Ronnie Rivers, and I like Malcolm Brown. But, I mean, today, Malcolm Brown showed you he's not on Henderson's level. He's not bad, but he's not Henderson. And is Henderson better than Saquon or guys like that? No. But the point is, Sean McVay has a starting running back and is giving him 12 carries in a game when Cam Akers isn't even active. So why would they trade for a running back when they don't even use the running back enough? Think about that, you know? Yeah, Brees is insane. He's way better than I ever expected. What's funny is going through the tape, I've actually been a little disappointed in Scott. I think today was a good day for him, but for the most part, I think he's been a little disappointing. As far as Floyd is, he looked a lot better today. I agree. I agree. I don't think there's no dog. There's no top dog, out there. The Bills got a much needed win over the Chiefs, so you could argue maybe they're the top dog in the NFL, but at the same time, the Bills have looked great and they've looked kind of mediocre. They've dealt with injury, I get it, but there hasn't been one team that's really just came out and been like, that's the best team in the league. I get it. I understand why people hate it. You're right. They did. They rushed for 111 yards on 29 carries, which is about a 3.8 yards per carry average. I mean, it worked, but that's not really committee though. Running the ball, like using the receivers in that way. Committee backfield is like when you're using Malcolm Brown 7 times, 12 times for Henderson. I don't see the point of that. Yeah, the Rams defense has been great. I just don't because I based on what they want, the Rams aren't going to give them that much. They're not. Thank you, Ted. I appreciate that. I agree. I just think that they should use Henderson more. And I thought they should have used some toss plays with Henderson. Henderson's great with the toss because he's got the lateral agility to easily get out there, read the block, scan, and then boom, he's gone. But they haven't run any of those in a minute. So I don't know. A little frustrating. I mean, I guess you could if you use him the right way. I would imagine a little bit after the bye. It sounds like he's not quite ready yet, but they did get the walking boot off, so that's good. The most surprising team is probably the Giants at 5-1. I just excuse me, man. I don't know why I'm like tired. It's weird. Well, I do, but still weird. The Giants are impressive to me because the Giants aren't that talented. The Giants are winning with coaching. Okay? Like, I knew Dable was going to be good. I just didn't know Dable was going to be that good. And it's just gotten to the point where it's like, man, Brian Dable's really good. Like, let's just look real quick. This is a Rams show. I get it. I'll show the Rams in a second. I'll talk about the Rams in a second. I just want to bring up something here. So the Giants, if I could ever load it. All right. New York Giants are 5-1. They have Barkley. They also have Daniel Jones, who hasn't been great, right? Um, their leading receiver is Richie James. Shepard's done. They're throwing to guys like David Sills and Marcus Johnson with the game on the line. And they're 5-1. You know? Um, it's a little early to know who a seller's going to be. But if I had to guess, I'd have to say the Raiders with Jacobs. But I think for the most part, I think the Raiders will stay away from selling. I think Jacobs will be a higher up thing. I don't necessarily think McDaniels wants to get rid of him. The Texans could be sellers at 1-3-1. Um, I don't see too many sellers in the AFC if I'm being totally honest. I don't. So it's the Panthers, and yeah, I don't think that there's really anybody out there that's clearly a seller. It's really just the Panthers and potentially the Texans. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but it isn't. There's not a clear seller out there on the market aside from the Panthers, who already fired their head coach. Normally, when you fire your head coach, defensive coordinator, all that, you're a seller. Oh man, I would like Laramie Tunsil a lot. That would be nice. I mean, I hate to be this guy, but the Jets did what the Rams should have. The Rams should have signed Dwayne Brown as depth. Dwayne Brown was good today. You mean like the best team by far? Or like the closest to being the top dog? Because I'd probably agree with you. But, I mean, then again, the Eagles also look really good. So I think Kendrick's solid. He's got a long way to go. And he probably wouldn't be starting if he didn't have to start. Like when Durant comes back, I don't know if he's going to be starting. Who knows? Maybe he will. I'm looking at the comments here, just trying to make sure. Guys, I forgot to mention, if you enjoyed this at any point, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and be sure to hit the like button, also known as the thumbs up button. Be sure to do that. We're at 69 likes. Nice. We're at 261 people viewing this, so let's get that way up. Let's get to 200. Just takes 2 seconds. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. You just hit the thumbs up, and then we're good. Tells YouTube, hey, people are liking this, so I should recommend this to people. Yes, please. I agree. The Jets are way more talented than the Giants. Way more talented. If the Giants had the talent the Jets had with that coaching, and this is not a knock on Saleh, who I believe is doing a good job, but if Dable had this team right now, the Jets might be undefeated. Like, try that on for size. The Jets would be undefeated with Brian Dable as their head coach. So, I don't know, but Dable's coaching is legit. Okay, it is legit. There's truth to what he's doing. I don't think it's a fluke. It's a good question, A-Dog. I don't know who the hell would trade for that guy right now. I mean, I would say, I think my friend Pat said it best. If you're the Bears, you go crazy to try to get this guy. Okay? The Bears should be all over trading for Robbie Anderson. Every other team should have him that number blocked. The Bears are the only team that makes sense. The only team. Because they don't have anybody. Their leading receiver, I'm pretty sure, is still Equanimeous St. Brown, and I think He's finally over 100 yards, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look right now because I like to be right instead of just guessing. But okay, leading receiver. Okay, Mooney has 241. Pettis has 135. Komet has 116. Montgomery has 113. Equinemius St. Brown has 110. They need a receiver. So, yes, Robbie Anderson 100% would make sense with the Bears. Everyone else, I wouldn't touch Robbie Anderson with a 10-foot pole. That's not a guy I want on my sidelines. If I'm a contender, I don't want that guy anywhere near my coaching staff. Oh, always. It's good development, good coaching with the Jets, man. I don't know about that. I do not know about that one. I thought the same thing. That's literally my thought process. I'm like, why is A.J. Dillon, who fumbled, actually playing more than Aaron Jones? I don't know what Aaron Jones has to do to get the respect that he deserves, but I feel like I'm talking about Darrell Henderson. So, yeah. Let's get the likes up. We're at 92, 269 watching. Let's see. You think Odell's gone? I don't know about that. You are too kind, man. You are too kind. Appreciate you. I don't know. It wasn't a bad day today at all. I thought he played extremely well, aside from that interception. But the interception's all anyone's going to talk about. It's really frustrating. They're just not generating a lot of pressure off the edge. Oh, man, that's funny. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Where are we at now? 102. I see y'all. Appreciate you. The pick was terrible, man. It really was bad. There's no defending it. I don't know. It feels like it's like Sean McVay's trying to get cute or something, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. No, I don't think he did. I didn't see him. I don't know. I haven't been overly impressed with Fields lately. Like, I feel like I would take Zach Wilson over Fields. I don't feel like the Jets would be better with Fields. Fields is not. He doesn't read the defense on the level of Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance. Like, yeah, I don't think that. It'll be competitive with the Niners. I don't see the Niners beating the Chiefs, though. I don't. I mean, you could have argued, and I will say this, you absolutely could have argued that Cooper Kupp was interfered with. It just wasn't, like, why are you forcing it on a second down? Well, Handsome Eric, you know the rules. You know the rules, my friend. You can face mask anybody on the Rams. Just ask Jared Goff in the NFC title game against the Saints. Just ask Brandon Powell against the Cardinals. As long as you're near the goal line, you can face mask any Ram, and you can get away with it. I mean, we've seen it now multiple times. We've even seen a flag thrown and picked up. So, yeah, I don't. Very, very frustrating. Maybe. We'll see. Oh my God, there's another one. You can just face mask the Rams all day. Man, it's like if they get a face mask call, I'm literally gonna like celebrate like they won the Super Bowl. Oh, my bad. So I put it on and I have to actually turn it off because it loops. So sometimes I totally forget that it's on. That's why. My bad. But yeah, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We are getting closer to 16,000 subscribers. Also, just want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, we hit 4 million views, folks. Channel views. 4 million. 4 milli. So it's been crazy. We started this November 16th of 2020. So we've hit 4 million views in under 2 years. That's crazy. We still got a month to go. Month to go. And then we got our 2-year anniversary. Pretty crazy. I agree. Thank you, Darren. That's the plan, Nolan. I'd be a little frustrated because I watch other. Here's the thing, folks. I watch other teams get value for like players that probably don't deserve to get value. You want to tell me you can't trade Akers? Then why the hell were you ever playing him? If he's that like useless, if he has that little value that you can't even trade him on a rookie deal, that's a problem. That's going to make me upset. Y'all too nice. Oh, once again, for those of you who didn't see the YouTube short, for those of you who didn't see my Twitter, shout out to Peter Schrager. He gave me a shout out for the OBJ interaction. Obviously a lot better than the Jason McIntyre calling me some random dude on the internet. But I've already heard different things about that, so I won't beat that. I won't beat it like I'm beating a dead horse, but still. That'd be awesome. That would be sick. We're not quite on that level yet. Yeah. Highest draft pick in 5 years. That would be something. I really want Burns in LA. That's who I want. Yeah, I think Akers is done, especially after today. They seem totally fine without him. The needle didn't move one way or the like. It just, it was good. I liked it, but I also felt like it was disappointing. I didn't love the way it ended. I recommend seeing it. I think it's the 6th best film out of the 13. That's how I would say. They have until November 1st, I believe, which would be the trade deadline. I'll look at it right now, but I believe the NFL trade deadline is November 1st. Yep. November 1st, folks. Circle your calendars. Oh, that bad? I didn't think it was bad. I just saw Barbarian yesterday. I liked Halloween Ends more than that. It was definitely weird. That is a way to put it. He co-hosts The Herd now with Colin Cowherd. How many millions of views are required to not be a random dude? Do you imagine it will take, Jake? Oh man, I don't even know. But let's just say this: if I get some good news tomorrow or soon, news that I'm waiting for, if it turns out good, then I'll be far from a random dude. Let me just put it that way. So we're waiting on something. We'll see what ends up happening. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I feel like I always have news for you guys, or like stuff that could emerge. So you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's got to be the last one. I don't want to spoil as to why I believe that, but I feel like that's got to be the last one. No, well, I think there's going to be a reboot, but they'll give it like 5 to 10 years before they reboot it. But they'll definitely reboot it again. I, I don't know why they're picking up roughing the passer penalties. It's kind of weird. Oh, I think it's definitely possible Akers, they get nothing for him. I hope that's not the case, but I think it's definitely possible. Yup. I think they can, but you know, we'll see what comes of it. Jake was the first I saw a report about real Akers news. Yeah, I try. Halloween Kills was one of the best movies in that series. That was like the Empire Strikes Back of the series. They are, man. I'm telling you, the Jets are scary now. They are. Yes, so I was told that LeBron James is working on the next Friday the 13th movie. LeBron James is part of that group that's working on the next Friday the 13th movie. We'll see what it comes of it, but I've never really liked those as much as, you know, as much as Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, but I'll definitely watch them. I just saw the new Hellraiser. Loved Hellraiser. I won't say they can smack them because I just feel like the Rams have a hard time blowing out anybody, but I do think that they can beat them. I always enjoyed her shows from beginning, but I have to say that I love the expansion to breakdown videos as well. Thank you. I feel bad because we got going on that, right? So we got going on this like this schedule and I was really excited about it and you know, started doing the NFL show. And just lately I've been so busy where like I'm getting different opportunities and trying to have to pick and choose and everything. So I really do want to get back to doing that NFL show. And I want to have some more Jets content on here. It's just trying to juggle it all. So this bye week, I think is going to definitely allow me to start, you know, refocusing all that. So I mean the content isn't going to stop, you know, but no, I appreciate that. I'm hoping if we do make a move, it'll be as early as Wednesday. So whoever comes in will have a solid week to acclimate and get somewhat of a grasp. I agree with that. Whoever they bring in, yeah. Yeah, you know, I kind of want to see a quarterback. Not gonna lie, I want to see a legit quarterback that they can build, they can develop. I want to see that come out of 2024. Unless they trade it for Brian Burns, I would like to keep it and draft a quarterback. I gotta say here, I got a great Discord full of great people, and I feel like I don't promote it anywhere near enough. So if you guys want to join, which is pretty much 24/7, I call it Twitter without all the toxic energy, then you can join the Discord. I just dropped the link below. It is free. You can hit that thing up, and it's majority Rams, but anybody can join, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, I try to pop in, you know, once a day, sometimes once every 2 days. So you also never miss a video. I post all my videos on there. They automatically post. So if your notifications aren't working on YouTube at any point, you could always use Discord to help you out. So that's something there. But yeah, I definitely recommend the Discord. Definitely feel free to join. It's open to anybody that wants to do that. Yada yada. Okay. Let's see. Halloween 2018 should have been the last one, in my opinion. Why do people hate it? The more I watch it, the movie kind of grows on me. Oh, it's great. I don't know why people hate it. It's fantastic. The trilogy was fantastic until Ends. I think Ends was okay. Like it was good to okay, but like Kills was my favorite of the new three. Um, I don't think I've ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't care what anyone says. Friday the 13th, 2009 was awesome. The remake was fantastic. I wanted to see them continue that, but, well, you know, that's true. Like, for instance, unless it's The Return of the King in Lord of the Rings, the third movie, like, almost always kind of sucks. Because, like, I personally don't like Return of the Jedi. I don't. I like Empire Strikes Back, and I like Star Wars, which is, they later on titled it A New Hope. But, I like, A New Hope. I think A New Hope is the best movie of the entire series, but that's just me. But I love, Strikes Back, and I really don't like Return of the Jedi at all. Well, thank you again for donating, Matthew. Really does help out the channel, helps me out, and I really appreciate it. And I won't forget you guys. No matter what happens, I'm gonna keep doing this, and it's not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop because I'm not signing a deal if any point I have to give this up because it's not worth it. I've already been asked, and I've been like, hey, I'm not trying to sign my YouTube away to you. No, 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 no. Put way too much effort into that. Jason X is hilarious. It's ridiculous, and you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it. If you're looking for something serious, Jason X is not serious. Jake, remember when Bleacher Report made a trade proposal that the Rams get Montez Sweat from the Commanders? I do, and I think somehow that was a little realistic, but so Gerard, I half agree with you. I don't think the idea that he's not a long-term option is his fault. I just think they don't view him as such. But then again, I'm not even convinced. They could have Todd Gurley in his prime, and the way Sean McVay loves to have this running back by committee, he'd probably have 10 carries. I mean, the way it looks, it's ridiculous. I'm going to go with under 250 passing yards. That's hilarious. When the boxing scene is absolutely hilarious. That's the Halloween 18 mask, because that's my favorite. Halloween Kills was kind of cool, but Halloween Kills doesn't look good with the lighting that I have. Like, that's just a white mask that I can project lighting on. I still kind of want to purchase the original mask, because that's, I think, either 18 or that are my favorite, but I think they will. I mean, that game at no point should have really been close. They dominated the Packers. Oh, Ernest Jones was great today. Yeah, he had a great game. I do like the Chucky movies, except for Seed of Chucky. I think is stupid. Bride of Chucky's pretty stupid too. The newer ones also, I'm not really a huge. I haven't seen the TV series, but I didn't like the remake. It was pretty decent meltdown. That's funny. I don't know. I don't even know if you're talking about like real life. Like, are they actually doing that? What? Oh, he's joking. He's joking. He's saying because he didn't drive him into the ground, it's because he knows that Christian McCaffrey's going to be a Ram. Yeah, that's just a joke. I see now. I liked Kills. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 was good. The second one was atrocious. I don't need to see Michael Myers running full sprint without his mask on. That was stupid. I try. We used to do this more, and I got so busy with football that really JE Lives just became football. But I have a rule: even when I'm doing a JE Live about a certain topic, I still will answer any questions. Period. As long as it's appropriate. That's true. They could. I don't. I don't want him, but they could. Facts. That's real. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. Hooker looks pretty good for Tennessee, but I don't know. I don't know how it'll work. I mean, the Rams don't have a first round pick until 2024, so who's going to be available then? Could be Jalen Daniels of Kansas. Just saying. Yeah. I like Revenge of the Sith. Absolutely. Because if you know the true value of your IP, and once you start giving that away, when you give that away, you sell out. When you sell out, it's going to somebody who doesn't know the true value of it, and then they waste it. Yeah, I don't think so, but Stranger Things have happened. I haven't either. I need to watch Andor. I finished. Damn. No Boom out for the year. That's awful. I still need to see Signs. Yeah, I still need to see it. I have a lot of movies to catch up on. I still gotta see Smile, and I just finished Rings of Power, and we're 27 minutes away from, if I know how to do math, yeah, 27, not 26. We're 26 minutes away from House of the Dragon coming out. Oh God, Ultraman. Yeah, I'm at this point. Kansas lost, USC lost, Alabama lost. The only team that I hope now that realistically, I mean Alabama's still in it, I guess, but the team that I hope realistically wins um the college football playoff as of right now would be Tennessee. Because I'm tired of Georgia. I'm really tired of Ohio State. I'm exhausted when it comes to Clemson. I hope Syracuse destroys Clemson next week. I really do. I have no issue with the players. I just don't like Dabo Sweeney. I'm so tired of him. I do not like him. I'm not going to pretend I like him. I do not like Dabo Sweeney. He's the one that was against players getting paid, like college athletes getting paid, but then he makes like millions of dollars to coach college football. I don't know, man. Not a fan. I could vlog myself sometime. I mean, the problem is I have a specific setup, so like when I start when I'm able to start like really saving money again, I'll probably buy another camera. Maybe even upgrade this camera and turn this camera into my vlogging camera, and I'll bring it to like stadiums and stuff. That would be cool. Problem is phone cameras are so good that it's almost like why bother? Yeah, I mean maybe someday. I will say this. I work off script. So I don't know how good I would be with a teleprompter. I gotta say that right now. I don't know how good I'd be with a teleprompter. That is my one That's my one concern. You're right. And it's the saddest. Yeah, he was. I mean, besides the obvious rap, maybe Ashawn. I wouldn't trade Ashawn, but those are guys that you could trade theoretically. I mean, I think the Seahawks are better than people gave them credit for. I said before the year, I was like, and then I kind of changed my opinion a little bit, but I don't even know why I did that. I still think Seattle's better than Arizona. I don't think Arizona's a good football team. I really don't. I think they had a fluky year last year, and now they're really just not that good. This is true. Yeah. This might be them moving Noteboom to guard. Next year, Noteboom might have to move to guard. Getting an Achilles injury, that might change how he can play tackle. Being on the outside, it's sad, man. Noteboom's a good dude. I've talked to him. Dude just loves football. Looking to see if there's anything new. This is insane, though, how many. Oh, man. I think a lot of people did. Bobby Brown is going to be a hell of a player if he develops, though. There's some truth to that. And I don't like Texas at all, but there's definitely some truth to that. Yeah, it's definitely time for Skura to play, I think. Although Cologne, I don't think was as bad. I'll have to look at the tape. Now that we have the bye, I'll be able to get back on that schedule, kind of reprogram my brain. So what we'll be able to do is Wednesday we'll do the tape again, the tape breakdown. I know everybody's been waiting for me to come back and do that. Well, we're going to be doing it. So Wednesday we'll do the tape breakdown, we'll do some other things. I mean, I would if I was given them, but the problem is, like, I can't get those press credentials because the Rams want you to be on NFL soil, and I'm not. I'm not anywhere near LA. I live in upstate New York, and I'm not even, like, the closest I am is to MetLife, and I'm not very close to MetLife. So, it is what it is. He's a little, yeah, he's got a slower motion, but I think Riley Dixon's been pretty solid. I have no complaints about him. I will look that up. Okay, so 3 years, 40 million, and it's after 2023 they have a potential out, which would only be 6 million against the cap. Next year the dead money would be 7 million. So technically, well, they could trade him too. I'm not saying you do this, but 2023 dead cap post June 1st trade would be 2 million in dead cap. A post June 1st release would be 7 million in dead cap. So they, I guess, technically have an out there. 2024, they can release him after June 1st with $2 million in dead cap. So after June 1st, 2024. So there's a chance. There's a chance that, they move on from Noteboom. I don't know why it does that. It's really frustrating. But yeah, there's definitely a chance they move on from Noteboom. I'm not going to say they do, but I'm curious, though, do they also put this in for the other guys? Quentin Lake is on the physically unable to perform list. I'm surprised they haven't had to make a decision yet, but I assume soon they will have to make a decision. Ashawn Robinson, by the way. He's a free agent at the end of the year. And they could save $8 million, I believe, post June 1st trade. So yeah, I don't know where they'll go with that, but Brian Allen, very cheap deal this year. They have an out after 2024, and even after 2023, the Rams can get out of this deal pretty easily. So if Brian Allen just is not the guy, then they can save $5 million with a release after June 1st, with only a $1.8 million dead cap and $2.4 million dead cap in 2024, and a trade would only be $800K in dead cap in 2023, and they would save $6 million. So based on what I'm reading, the Rams aren't screwed. You are absolutely right, Alex. Shout out to you. Absolutely right. The Rams did have an injury insurance plan, if you will. Doesn't mean that they don't get paid, but it does allow them to get out of that. So it really was like a prove it deal. Like the Rams will probably, I hate to say it, but I think the Rams probably move on entirely from the offensive line. Like Havenstein is signed long term, so he's good. But I mean, they might want more, they might want to rebuild the offensive line how they see fit. I don't know, but it's kind of blown up in their face, and it really wasn't their fault. Logan Bruss will be back next year. I could see it going multiple different ways, but that is going to do it for me, folks. I'm going to go and watch the rest of this Yankees-Guardians game. Go Yankees, go Rams. We got the bye. You're still going to see plenty of content. It's going to be a fun week, I promise. I'm not going to bore you guys. I promise you'll have content. Even though the Rams aren't playing, doesn't mean that I can't give you some entertainment, right? So we are going to have plenty of content on this channel, especially because there's no Rams football. That's more the merrier, I guess. And we'll see about what goes on this week with news that I'm waiting on. And if things go in my direction, you will be the first to hear it. So that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel as always. I am Jake Ellenbogen signing off. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, you guys take care. Later, folks.